Hi there everybody, how are we doing my lovelies? Welcome back to my channel, Boomy Reactions. I am Boomy. Hello, hello. So guys, I'd like to watch a cooking video with you today. So this video comes as a request from Jeff through my Patreon. Thank you so much for your support, Jeff. Thank you, thank you. So Jeff says, Boomy, he's back. Alton Brown, he was gone for 20 years, but he's back and he did an awesome beef roast. Right, okay, Jeff, I recognise the name. But admittedly, I've never watched Alton Brown. I know he's the creator of Good Eats. Is it Good Eats? The creator, and I think he hosted it, did he not? For quite a while. Presumably he's the author of many cookbook as well. But I've never actually followed any of his recipes. I can't even think of one that I've actually used. So this is the first time for me. So okay, oh, he's back. Why was he gone for 20 years or so? What happened there? Let me know, guys. I'm sure many of you know. So Alton had a very good TV show on Food Network, Good Eats, but he is back on the internet, and the standing roast rib is very good. Ooh, well, do you know, any roast rib sounds absolutely marvellous. I would dread to think how much that would set us back in the UK. It's been a while since I've priced such a such a slab of beef, but I can imagine it's very, very pricey over here, as a lot of meat tends to be these days. Anyway, guys, so Jeff says he will show you a very good time. Thank you, Boomy, and Merry Christmas from me, my wife, and our 5 daughters. Thank you so much, Jeff. Have a lovely Christmas, my friend, if I don't speak to you sooner. So fantastic. Right, okay. So is this a traditional treat that you guys whip up around Christmas time? Like I've said before, normally in my household, we would have turkey is a big thing in the UK. We all have a turkey, but in our household, we quite often had a secondary meat, and it would be my grandpa, my granddad, who is an ex-butcher, and he would bring along a roast rib of beef joint. Oh my gosh, absolutely fantastic. You know, overcooked sometimes, but tasty all the same. I think it's a generation thing. But yes, absolutely delicious. So let's crack on with the video, guys. You know me, I've done an awful lot of talking already. So let's crack on. Guys, if you are enjoying these reactions, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you're interested, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. The link is over here. And should you want to support this channel any further, I have a Patreon account. If you're interested in checking it out, that would be amazing, my lovelies. The link is in the description below.
Standing rib roast.
Oh, that looks amazing.
It is sacred to my Christmas celebration, and honestly, no other meaty meal gives me anything close to the satisfaction that I extract from chomping down on one of these, especially one particular part, which we'll get to in a bit. All right, let's start with some anatomy though. A standing rib roast is a roast taken from the rib primal of the bovine critter, which sits behind the shoulder or chuck and in front of the loin.
Yes.
Oh.
I gotta go back. What was I just looking at? Got valves on the udder. This is a lady cow. Then I've got to show you that, just in case you missed it.
And in front of the loin.
Let's see. Strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. Oh, that's tickled me. I don't know why I find udders so funny. It's like a recurring theme. They are very funny looking though, aren't they? Oh, sorry guys, that did tickle me, that one.
Oh, well, that's a lady cow.
Yes.
And steaks are typically cut from steers, and a steer is, look, I don't have time for this, just work with me. This roast is typically fabricated to contain a part of up to 7 rib bones, as well as part of the spine. Individual roasts are often either 3 or 4 bone, as that adds up to 7. Where your roast is cut from along the continuum matters, as the structure at the loin end is significantly leaner than that of the chuck end. What really matters for me when I'm shopping is that the end looks like this. Okay, we've got some ribs, right? There is some fat cap, the eye muscle, nice and distinct, and then the cap, the spinalis dorsi, or dorsi, frickin' delicious. And I like to see a bit of fat between those two muscles.
Okay.
This roast was not butchered very well because the fat cap was over trimmed. Apparently with some kind of yard implement of some type. Kids, if you can find a good butcher, hold them close and always tip well. Now,
good advice.
A word about grading. This is...
Okay, so our joint of beef here has possibly been trimmed or hacked at with a garden instrument. Ha ha ha. I like the chicken he's got going on in the background.
A choice grade rib roast, not a prime rib roast, which would have a lot more intramuscular fat. Now, I want to be clear right up front that the method that I am sharing is based on my personal preferences. I do not call my method the ultimate or the best or superlative or elevated or even the most scientific, okay? I have arrived at this method without the use of graphs, charts, really anything but a calendar, a thermometer, a scale, a dozen or so spiral-bound notebooks, and a clutch of pencils. So the only adjective that I can add to this is that this is my method. No more, no less. Are we clear? Perfect.
That's a nice disclaimer there. He's not claiming this is the ultimate way to do it. It's just his way. I love that.
Behold this year's roast. I strive to obtain said beast hunk at least 5 days prior to cooking. On the day I get it home, here's what I do. I roll out about 6 feet of cheesecloth, readily available at most kitchenware stores, as well as online, of course, and I cut it in half right up the middle. I fetch my roast, unwrap it, of course, lay it at the end of piece number 1, and just roll it up. I then rotate it 90 degrees and roll long ways in piece number 2. I place this parcel on a cooling rack inside a quarter sheet pan. And to take up minimum space, I usually tie it so that it'll stand up on its side a little bit. And I leave this in the refrigerator for 4 to 5 days, during which time there will be some moisture loss via evaporation. But mostly, this is about really drying the outer surface to help create a crunchy brown exterior later. But let me be clear about this. This is not the same as dry aging, which is a complex process wherein large cuts are placed in highly controlled environments.
For a much longer amount of time, like what, like 28 days is it for dry aging? Have I plucked that out of thin air?
For temp and humidity, regulated exactly, sometimes for months, in order to promote flavorful enzymatic changes inside the meat itself, okay? This ain't that.
That's just for the
This is just really drying, not aging. But I strongly believe that it's worth the time if you've got it, and of course a little refrigerator real estate to hold the thing. Now you'll notice that I did not take a big scary knife and cut off the slab of the ribs and then tie them back onto the roast, as many chefs advocate and as many butchers actually do. This isn't to say that I don't cut off the ribs. I do, but later, after cooking and resting. Why? Because I like it that way. And I'll show you why soon enough. Now, when we're about an hour and a half away from cooking, it's time to contemplate the trio of flavors that we're bringing to the party. Well, technically 2 flavors, as the bovine is bringing the first in the form of beef tallow or rendered beef drippings, which I just happen to have on hand. Now, tallow is technically different from just rendered beef fat because it's made mostly from suet. It's the fat around the kidneys. It's harder and drier than other forms of beef fat.
I was wondering this. What is the difference between, oh my gosh, what's the difference between lard, tallow, dripping, you know? Okay, that makes more sense.
It's been refined before packaging. It makes its way into a lot of products, including the beard balm I'm wearing right now. My dogs love to lick it off my face. Too much information. Rendered beef fat is really just drippings that you collect and heat to remove the water, strain, and store. Fine with me. We also require kosher salt, about 2 teaspoons per bone, so 8 teaspoons here. And it really does need to be kosher because we need it to cling to the surface, which is what kosher salt does best. Then there's black pepper. It's a spice that people tend to gloss over and treat it like, just kind of this quotidian dark dust. But it really is the spice for beef, in my opinion. And I could use an electric spice mill or coffee grinder, but I want more control. And I get that from this small hand Japanese grinder. I think it was actually made for coffee. It's got a ceramic grind head, which is important, and it stands on a cup that catches whatever comes out, which is great. I figure about 25 grinds to get what I need. Something oddly satisfying about that motion.
It's not the first person to say this. Philly and Keely. Keely likes to sit there grinding coffee, doesn't she? It must be very therapeutic. I love how accurate he is here. So 25 turns of the grinder. I love it.
Anyway, the pepper goes into the salt and we're ready for the rub down. So unwrap the meat and then I literally massage it with 2 tablespoons of my beef fat. You really want to work it in there, okay? Don't be too gentle. Then pack on the spices. And I do this with kind of a sprinkle pat combo. Oh, and don't forget to give some love to the rib side too. Now, once that's all on, take a moment and really just rub the spices into the meat. Contact is key. You don't want anything falling off. Time now for the thermometer, which I have set to go off at 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, to insert, find the little ridge that runs across the bottom of the fat cap and go up about 1 inch and insert horizontally at least 3 inches in, hopefully into the eye muscle. Make sure that you have got an oven rack in the bottom third of your box. Insert the roast there into the box and then and only then crank the heat to a mere 250 degrees. Now this is the beginning of a long, low climb to that 118 degrees, which is our target for medium rare. It's going to take about 1 hour per bone, I'm going to guess, usually. This is really just a reverse sear, like you would do with the ribeye steak. The goal, slowly bring the interior up to a relatively, obviously, low temperature for the sake of internal evenness. Then we're going to rest the meat while we make the Yorkshire pudding, which is basically a giant popover that we'll tear up and use to taco pieces of meat. Anyway.
Yorkshire pudding. It's beef's best friend. Honestly, they are delicious, guys. And they're really, really straightforward to make. Obviously, it's one of those things that get easier with practice. I'm so happy that he said Yorkshire pudding. Do you know, I have seen popovers, little recipes for popovers. I need to try them. They do look very, very similar to a Yorkshire pudding. In case any viewers out there from the US or anywhere just outside of the UK, if you're wondering what the texture of a Yorkshire pudding is and you haven't given them a go yet, I suppose a popover would be very, very similar, although I am still to make them, but they look very, very close. But yes, they've got to be slightly eggy, wonderfully puffed, and just stodgy goodness. But yes, treat beef with a Yorkshire pudding. You won't be sorry. Very, very delicious. And the shape of them, they're like a little cup. So they kind of maintain and just hold all this delicious gravy. Wonderful. This chicken has moved. What is it? What is this little chicken in the background? It looks adorable.
Then we will finally sear the roast in a wicked hot oven to get a nice exterior
Did you see
sear.
the oven?
Pink inside, sear it on the outside. That's what we want.
Digital
Meanwhile,
on the hob.
do keep an ear out for that thermometer alarm.
The knobs.
Okay. Batter up.
This oven looks amazing. Swing batter.
Combine 4 eggs, 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt, 2 cups of whole milk, and 280 grams of all-purpose flour. I usually use a stick blender on this, just briefly, but whatever works for you is fine. But then cover that and just stash it at room temperature until go time. Oh, also, we need a 12-inch cast iron skillet up on deck and ready to go. At this point, we just wait and have wine or cocktails and see what everybody else brings to the party.
So there's lots, you'll find a lot of people have their own kind of tips and tricks on Yorkshire puddings. You make the batter and then leave it. Some people will literally say in the fridge overnight. Some people will say room temperature, but leave it for hours and hours. I put mine in the fridge. I don't actually know what the logic is behind it, what the science is, or what it brings to the Yorkshire pudding. As long as you have the fat heated away in a really hot oven, so you bring that fat preheat it up to quite a temperature before you pour the batter into it. And then that's where you get that big rise and popping of the batter.
I'm not cooking anything else. Nope.
I think he's hilarious. He's so funny.
When 118 Fahrenheit is attained, carefully remove the roast, being mindful of the hot drippings in the pan. Now park that roast in just a still warm spot in your kitchen. No need to cover it. And don't pull out the probe just yet. I like to see the carryover do its thing. All right, meanwhile, slide that iron skillet into the oven and boost the heat to 400 degrees. Now, at this point, harvest 4 tablespoons of the drippings from underneath the roast. Turkey baster is pretty good for this, even though it's utterly useless for basting turkeys, which makes it a doppeltasker, which is, we'll get into that some other time. It doesn't really matter. Okay, you're gonna mix this tasty fat into the batter with the mixer running, or else it'll set up into clumps. When the oven finally hits 400, okay, add the other 2 tablespoons of fat directly to the skillet and swirl or brush to evenly cover. That's important. Then pour in the batter and quickly, but carefully, return to the oven and cook until puffy and brown, about 30 minutes. And when I say puff, it's gonna go up like a souffle, but it will soon deflate. I'd be happy to show you, but the window on my oven is somewhat occluded.
Same.
Okay, when the pudding comes out, just set it on the cooktop, leave it in the pan for now, and crank the oven to its highest heat possible. For most of us, 550, right? And then immediately pull the probe out of the roast. You might note the final carryover temperature because that'll be the final internal temperature, and then slide it into the oven for 10 minutes. There will be smoke, good smelling, appetite bell ringing, smoke detecting, tickling smoke. So
there is always smoke, but it's not as nice smelling in my kitchen. It tends to set off smoke alarms and all sorts. Yes, and I don't know about anyone else, but it stings the absolute Jesus out my eyes. But yes, so I think the look of his Yorkshire pudding here, I make them individual, like quite small ones, like in a muffin tin. Preference, I suppose. You can make giant ones. I prefer them smaller, little cups. I think if you use more fat, I know we're all very health conscious these days. It's not a healthy addition to your roast dinner by any stretch of the imagination. But generally speaking, I think there needs to be a little bit more fat in the pan that you preheat before you put the batter in. Yeah, they are oily, they are. But you do get a better rise and a better pop from them when you have a little bit more fat going on there. Just in case anyone has tried this and you want them to look, I don't know, a little bit more cup-like, try a little bit more fat. It's worrying how much there actually is in the when you put it into the oven and you're preheating it and you look at it and you think, oh my gosh, there's a lot of grease, there's a lot of fat going on in there. It does help the rise of the Yorkshire puddings and to maintain the shape of them.
Do whatever you need to do to deal with that. And when 10 minutes is up, you know, I think I'm just gonna shut up at this point and watch.
I should take that advice. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing! So this is the point you trim the ribs or take them off. My mouth's watering. A big fat chunk of steak.
So here we have everything we need for a perfect Christmas dinner, right? We've got our fabulous slabs of roast beast. Those are pretty great. And of course, we've got our sexy Yorkshire pudding. And bringing them together into the perfect holiday meal really couldn't be simpler. You just grab yourself a chunk of this, right? Like that, right? And you grab yourself some roast beast like this and kind of make yourself a sandwich like that. And of course, it would be nice if somebody brought some horseradish sauce.
Horseradish, okay, yeah.
Probably that'll happen. Anyway, that's really, you don't even need utensils. You don't need anything. But this isn't my favorite. Remember those ribs? Come here, Remember these guys? Huh? Remember? They don't look so good right now, but well, just hold that thought.
What are you going to do with them? Wow! The drama!
That's my very favorite. Matter of fact, it's my favorite part of standing rib roast. It's my favorite part of Christmas. It's my favorite part of the year. My life. Baby.
I can feel it.
Happy holidays.
I love that little thumbnail over here. It's him as a puppet. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, right, okay. I see why he kept the ribs until the end there. Lovely. I love the drama of that blowtorch. Possibly, you know, maybe won't imitate it for obvious safety reasons. Might actually set my house on fire. But I like the drama. Could you have a smaller blowtorch maybe to finish them off? They looked absolutely amazing. So you could try, like I say, Yorkshire puddings in like a muffin tin, like a deeper one is better. And then you've got these little, I don't know, you can put appetizers in them, like cuts of beef in them. One major critique here, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to agree with me. It needs gravy. It does need gravy. Beef and Yorkshire puddings are best mates. They're best friends. But there is a third one going on there. They're a little, you know, little threesome. They need gravy. Oh my gosh. Horseradish, okay. I'm not overly keen on horseradish, but I get it. But you absolutely need gravy. And if you do Yorkshire puddings in the little individual ones in those muffin tins, like I say, they act like little cups. So they can hold the beef and the horseradish, if you like, and the gravy. It's genius. Honestly, I do like that he was tearing up the giant Yorkshire pudding and making a sandwich. But if you like that, if you like Yorkshire puddings, give the little individual ones a go. You won't be sorry. I do like the sandwich though. It looks absolutely fantastic. Oh, it needs something potato going on, doesn't it? Like roast potatoes. We're nearly there at perfection. But I'm a greedy guts, so I'd have to have a few additional little bits. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for requesting this video. We normally do turkey. I'm going to do a bit of a turkey redemption for Christmas this year because I didn't get around to smoking and frying my turkey, but I have all the things ready now. So hopefully the British weather is going to allow me to do that. So I'm hoping to do that with a turkey for Christmas. But I would love to try this beef. Oh my gosh, it looks absolutely amazing. So yummy. I'll have to give it a go at some point. I dread to think how much money that is actually going to set me back at the butcher's though. I'll let you know, guys. We'll convert it into dollars and we'll price compare. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching that along with me. Take care of yourselves for now, my lovelies. Much love, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.